And we're going to start out today making something called stracotto alla lombarda, which is a stew, actually, from Lombardia, the region of Lombardia in Italy. But you want to do this the day before you want to serve it, because we have to marinate the meat first. 1 stalk of celery going in. And then we want to make a little bouquet garni. And that means to wrap some spices in a little piece of cheesecloth. It makes it easier for you to get it out of the dish afterwards, particularly if you're using bay leaf. And you always want to put bay leaf whole in a dish, because if you cut it up, it could get stuck in your throat. So there are a couple bay leaf, and we're going to add some whole cloves. And you just tie that up so that goes in. And then we want some nutmeg. So here's some freshly grated nutmeg, a little bit of garlic. So 1 clove of garlic goes in. And really, that's all there is to the marinade, except for the vino. And we're using vino rosso today. So you want to put, about 2 cups of wine in. Add some onions. So a few onions go in there. So you cover it. And back in the fridge it goes. And during the course of the day, you should come back and turn the meat around in the marinade so it all gets evenly marinated. And 24 hours later, you'll be ready to cook that stracotto. So now we have to take this meat out. I'm going to put it right there. And all of these juices, I'm going to strain out. So I'm going to pour them into a bowl with a strainer, because we're going to be using that later on. Now what you want to do is dry the meat off really, really well. So once it's dried off like that, well, then we're going to put it into some flour. So we're going to cut up some of this speck. And speck is really a German word, and it means bacon. All right, so what are we going to do with this now that we have it? Well, what we're going to do with this is use this as our flavorings for our stracotto. So we're going to turn the heat up here, and I'm going to add a little bit of butter to my pan. So about a tablespoon of butter, and the speck goes in. And we're going to allow that to brown. And now we want to have a bag with some flour. So we just use a plastic bag and take the paper off. It's nicely dried off now. And put it right into the bag, just like that. Kind of get the flour all the way around it, just like that. So the rest of this you throw away, because you can't use that. And we add some onions to this. I wish you could smell this. It's smelling absolutely wonderful. So when these are crispy, then we're going to take out the speck, and we're going to add the meat. So this is going to be a nice flavor ingredient as that meat is cooking very, very slowly. This is what we wanted to have happen. We wanted this speck to flavor the butter in the pan. Now, if you see that your pan is a little dry, you may want to add a little bit more butter to it. So set this aside. So once you get it in the pan, get it over medium-high heat, right into the pan. It's going to give great flavor. And remember the vegetables, they go back in the pan. Spread them around. And all of the marinade. You want to turn your heat down to low now. So that goes in. You put a cover on that, and you put it on low flame for about 2 to 2.5 hours. Shrunk down a little bit, but that's expected. Did I tell you that was about a 3.5 pound roast? So now we need to take that out, because really what you should do when you have a roast like this is you should let it sit on your cutting board for about 10-15 minutes before you cut into it. So you put all of this juice into a food processor, or if you have a wand, you can do that until it's nice and smooth. Stracotto, really cooked beautifully. So that's how you do the stracotto alla Lombarda.